It is a march toward history for 24-year-old Inbee Park, who today in the final round of the U.S. Women's Open looks to become just the second player ever in the women's game to win the first 3 majors of the year. Her final round bid for history is next. NBC Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today it's live final round coverage of the 68th United States Women's Open. And Championship Sunday on the coastline of the Great Peconic Bay on Long Island in New York, where Sebonack Golf Club, which opened just 7 years ago, hosts the oldest and most prestigious major in women's golf. And today at Sebonack, which is an even more Scottish-like feel to it today with the overcast skies and gusting winds, history can be made as Inbee Park looks to join Babe Zaharias as the only player in women's golf to win the first 3 majors of the year. And she had a great opportunity to begin the day with a 4-shot lead over IK Kim. They have exchanged a couple of shots here and there as IK Kim cut into the lead to make it 3, but it has been just up to 4 again. And the only players under par right now, Inbee Park and IK Kim. Paula Creamer was at 1 under just a short time ago, but Jessica Korda, just 20 years old, is in there at even par. And Son Yun Yu, the champion from the Broadmoor just a couple of years ago, is at even par as well. So it is a 2-player race for the 68th U.S. Women's Open title. And some of the other players in this final round in their positions as we take you out live to the par 5 8th. And Jody Ewart-Shadoff getting ready for her second shot. Ewart-Shadoff was at 3 under and was one of those players under par, but got up to a tough start, bogeying 4 of the first 5 holes as Kay Cockrell is out there with this group.
And hoping this hole right now she can start turning things around. 193 yards to the front of this reachable par 5. Oh, and she just nudges it onto the front of the green.
Ewart-Shadoff playing with Son Yun Yu, who has reached this green in 2 and will have an eagle putt. So back live on the tee with the final group, and Inbee Park and IK Kim is Roger Maltby. And happy birthday out there, Roger.
Thank you, Dan. They're coming too fast now, but I appreciate it. This par 5, 482 yards, plays uphill, dog legs right slightly, but the wind helping, and from the left, making it certainly reachable with a good tee shot.
He's being moved up to try to bring that bunker you see in the center of the fairway into play. So players will challenge that.
And IK Kim, who did birdie the second hole to get within 3 of Inbee Park, but then bogeys at 4 and 6 and 7. The miss for par at the 7th hole. The previous hole was a relatively short miss, as I'm joined here in the 18th tower by Annika Sorenstam, the World Golf Hall of Famer, and Gary Koch. So IK has had her opportunities here earlier, and you know she has to take advantage of every single opportunity, you would think.
She really needs to. I mean, she's had the chance. She has only missed 2 fairways, I believe, in these 3 days and hitting greens, but she's not getting it done on the greens. She's got to make these, and otherwise nobody can put pressure on Inbee Park coming down the stretch.
All right, a very conservative play here, taking 3 wood off the tee. So Roger obviously not challenging that bunker down the center.
Not at all, and this will be in the fairway as well.
Turning into a 3-shot hole.
Over to the par 3 17th, and Morgan Pressel is on the tee of this hole today, playing 171 yards. Pressel at +7 for the championship, +1 during this final round today.
An interesting hole location here, Annika. Players can really only see the very top of the flagstick, as the dune you see in your foreground of the picture hides the entire putting surface.
Yes, this is a hole you got to use the slopes on the greens.
Yeah, if you can be brave and play to the right of the hole, not easy to do because it forces you to play right over the dune. You can utilize that slope and get the ball very close to the hole.
All right, all right.
That is lost to the right. Lucky it got out of the fescue.
I got it.
The shorter rough.
Into the par 4 11th. This is the third shot for Christy Cruz, coming off a double at the 10th, so she is +6 for the championship.
And a good little shot there at what has been the most difficult hole on the golf course throughout this championship. So any par at 11 is a good one.
And back over at the 8th, Ewart Shadoff looking over this long eagle try. Kay.
Annika, Jody's ball striking has really been what's kept her in this championship. She's hit 15 greens each of the days, but so far today she's missed most of the greens in regulation. So really struggling with her ball striking a little bit to start.
Yeah, it's a little different Jody we're seeing today. She was leading the greens in regulation, like you said, and didn't get it done yesterday on the greens. So maybe things will turn around. A long putt sometimes will do that for you.
This is a tricky one. About 2/3 of the way there's a small little knob that is going to really push this ball left to right, and it'll speed up quite a bit the second part of this putt.
This is a putt, Kay, to me. If you got a little careless and tried to make this putt, you could almost putt it off the green.
Exactly. This is outside of 50 feet. And she would do very well to make this as easy a 2-putt as possible, perhaps get it in a 4-foot circle.
So not getting too bold with the eagle attempt.
That's a good lead, though. Yeah, be an uphill putt from there.
And up at 17, this is the golfer who Inbee Park passed as the #1 ranked player in the world, Stacy Lewis, back in April. And it has been another tough day for Stacy. +7 on the round today. Now +13 for the championship. Good shot for her at 17. As we go over to the 9th and say good afternoon to Tom Abbott. Hey, Tom.
Oh, good afternoon, Dan. What a great afternoon it is set to be for Inbee Park. This is Angela Stanford with her second to the 9th. Jane Crafter following this group.
Good afternoon, Tom. That is from a slight divot for Angela, 120 yards. And, very well done. Skipped it right off that quite severe ridge.
Let's go back to number 8.
Sonia Yu, this for eagle.
And I'm sure she learned a lot from Ewart Shadoff's putt. Or maybe not.
There we go.
Well,
Oh, that was a shockingly bad putt.
2011 champion who celebrated her 23rd birthday yesterday. Now IK Kim laying up at the par 5 8th, 263. That should be fine. And Inbee Park ready to go now, Roger.
Well, she's got a wood out, has 242 to the hole, 222 to the front edge. I thought she might give it a go, but I can't imagine she's trying that with players on the green.
Go.
Right up in front of that bunker. Not sure exactly where it ended up. And so just a few feet away from Inbee Park's ball. Yu for birdie.
it's pretty slow and turning to the left. Well, I guess you can make that bold an effort if you can make the one coming back. That was pretty impressive.
It was very solid. I like her tempo and her putter.
First of the day for Sonia Yu, who moves into red figures. Just 3 players now joining Kim and Park. And we'll keep it right here for Ewart Shadoff. Just 25 years old. Played in that final group yesterday as they went off both tees and threesomes with IK Kim at Inbee Park, but playing in her very first U.S. Women's Open. And Annika and Gary, I know both of you really like her game. It is this part of her game which she needs to kind of firm up here.
Well, she does indeed. Ranks 139th on the LPGA Tour in the putting stats. And she's a wonderful ball striker. Brings a lot of speed for a slightly built young lady, and I think if she gets that aspect of the game in order, we're going to be hearing a lot of her name in the future.
Well done there. And there is the struggling start for Ewart Shanoff, picking up those 4 bogeys in the first 5 holes. But a birdie there gets her back to even. And this was Kari Webb just a moment ago for birdie at the tough 11th. 2-time U.S. Women's Open champion Kari Webb picks up her first birdie of the day at that hole.
That's a good one. Through 3 rounds, there had only been 14 birdies made at the 11th. So it's like picking up 2 shots on the field.
Over to 9.
And Paula Creamer will have a birdie putt here. And Jane, not a happy story at the 8th hole for Creamer, having made a good start with 2 birdies before that.
Yes, indeed, Tom had to take an unplayable lie after really hitting a very poor second shot. Tried to go over some trees and didn't get it airborne enough. So double bogey there. Meanwhile, this putt, about 20 feet, up and over a little bit of a steep bridge, swinging to her right.
Should just be a par at the 9th for Paula. Over to number 17.
Birdie attempt for Stacey Lewis, who doesn't have a single birdie on the card today. It's 5 bogeys and a double. It has been a struggle. And back to the par 5 8th for the 3rd for IK Kim. Roger.
And has left herself 56 yards to the hole. NB Park second shot did find the front greenside bunker.
Downwind off the left
With
here.
this hole cut just on top of a subtle ridge in the back right. So I would think the shot would be to land it in front of the ridge and try to get it to run up across, release up across that ridge. I don't believe you can land it on top and hold it. There is a slope behind the hole, but if it gets up into the fringe, it may not come back. So I don't know that that's really a viable option, Gary.
Well, it all depends on how much spin you can put on it, and from this short a distance, Raj, I would tend to think that it'd be pretty hard to spin it much, especially going downwind.
Oh, it's got to go.
Miss hit. Big time. And so the struggles continue for IK Kim, who again has picked up 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes. Another look at what happened here.
Annika looked like she just wasn't committed to the shot. I mean, we saw her back off, and I mean, I think the strike was okay. She just didn't put enough effort into it.
No, she didn't. Her finish looked a little funny. She was leaning forward, kind of a balance on her right leg, and I think she felt it right away that it wasn't the right type of shot.
All right, so here is NB Park, Roger. What kind of 3rd shot does she have?
Well, ball's just gotten into the bunker a short ways, so on a little bit of a downhill slope and has to get the ball up rather quickly. So a little more complicated than you'd like. But I think the downhill lie, if hit properly, will help her run the ball a bit back toward the hole, get it up over that ridge. Nicely done. The lie worked to her advantage there.
So a chance here for a big swing in NB Park's direction.
Over at the 9th, Angela Stanford is for back-to-back birdies. Not able to convert. And back to number 8.
And there is the lie for IK Kim.
Plugged lie again, you know, that'll help the ball come out with no spin, so that would be an advantage trying to get it up the hill if played properly.
Does lead the field in sand saves.
Hold on.
That may gather back some.
Come on.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, has a chance to not be a swing any direction here.
Yeah, that was a very good shot from that lie to get it over that lip and then you know, could just get it to about 10 feet. That was terrific.
This is one where you just want to throw the club head into the sand and don't worry so much about the follow through. You want the club in there as deep as it possibly can go. Use the cushion of sand to get the ball to come out.
We go back to the 17th, and this par attempt for Morgan Pressel now. Had a pretty good opening 9, 1 under 34. And that's going to be back-to-back bogeys now for Pressel. Falls to +8. Reminder that tomorrow night is an all-new on Golf Channel. 9 Eastern time on Big Break Mexico. The competitors in for a big surprise as Lorena Ochoa stops by. Then at Faraday, Stacy Lewis, who you've seen here at this championship. Number 2 ranked player in the world sits down with David tomorrow night on Golf Channel. And back to the 8th. We've got IK Kim for par, and we've got Inbee Park for birdie, and IK to play first here, Roger.
Yes, Dan. I'm going to call this putt just about 7 feet. A little downhill. I think it's got to turn some to her left. Green all seems to fall in that direction. The natural terrain of the slope here around the green wants to fall that way. I don't think it'll do it a lot, but I do think it has to go some left.
We talk about opportunities, Annika. We mentioned a couple of misses, short putts that IK has missed already. This is the kind of time where you got to kind of bear down here, get your par, and maybe get out of here without losing anything.
Yeah, she has to do that. She has to grind. Trying to forget about the bad putts she's hit in the past, and you know, that was a big putt. I mean, coming back from a few short misses and then have it downhill to save par, knowing that Inbee has a great opportunity.
Back to 9.
And So Yeon Ryu with a tee shot at this par 4. Pretty steady start, even par so far.
Yeah, that's headed left, though.
That is not good.
That is not, Tom. That is in that tall fescue rough.
Back here at 8, Inbee Park has a chance to get it to 9 under and stretch the lead to 5.
This one should move just a little to her right.
Interestingly, Annika, she was saying this left-hand low grip, she started it when she was 10 years old, when she first started golf. The coach that she had back in South Korea said, try this grip. She said she felt good, and she's stuck with it ever since.
Rare miss from that distance. So after all of that, they both make par 5s when it looked like Inbee might really increase the lead, but it stays at 4 for the moment. As they head over to the par 4 ninth, take another look at the end of this putt, just kind of tailing off at the end.
Yeah, not quite enough speed to hold the line. Putt going back up the hill.
So Inbee Park continues the march toward history. 4 clear of IK Kim in the 68th United States Women's Open from Savannah.
Out at the 9th, it's Inbee Park with the tee shot.
Straightaway tee shot here, Tom, but the wind blowing left to right, fairway sloping left to right.
All right.
Going up the left center, cutting a little bit toward the center. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Inbee in good position. This was just a moment ago. Second shot for Jodie Hewitt shut off at the 9th. That one's pretty good, and it should be a tap-in birdie for the Englishwoman. And she needs a few birdies and 4 bogeys on the card so far. Back at the tee, IK Kim.
Going down the right side. Yeah, it's going to need to hit soft. Oh, it did, I think. Maybe not.
Just trickled into the first cut of rough there. But, shouldn't be a big problem.
So Yeon Ryu, we saw her with a problem off the TK, but she's managed to get it to the bunker with us for a 3rd shot.
She was very close to having her second shot bound up onto the green. It just bounced to the left and trickled into the bunker. Has a good lie. challenge is, where do you land this? To get it close. Oh, right about there. Not bad.
Still a bit of work to do. Could save her par. And while we have a moment, let's go up to the 18th hole.
Well, thank you, Tom. It is a special day indeed, not just in women's golf or men's golf, but in sports. Few times do you have opportunities to see somebody make history like Inbee Park has a chance to do today. Annika, you racked up so many victories in your career, 10-time major winner, 3-time U.S. Women's Open champ at this championship. What must be going through her mind with a chance at history today?
Well, I'm sure she's thinking about history, but she's telling everybody she's not thinking about it, and that's the key. She has to focus on, you know, one shot at a time, and you know she's almost just 9 holes left to be able to reach history. It's impressive. She's very calm. I admire that about her. She's just sticking to her game plan, good tempo. This is going to be interesting to see, but you're right. This is history. This is big time, and this is hard.
Yeah, and even if she does win this, then they'll be talking about what could happen at the Women's British Open, which would make her the first golfer, male or female, to win 4 professional majors in the same year. It's heady stuff. We're going to try to stay focused here on that. Gary, what about the golf course? How's it playing today?
Well, it's a challenge, Dan. It was a challenge yesterday. Inbee Park had the only under par round in the entire championship in round 3. The wind is up again today. The greens are the fastest that they've been the entire week. Some of the hole locations are somewhat accessible, utilizing some of the major slopes in the greens, but it requires very accurate approach shots. Inbee Park is going to have her work cut out for just making pars, I think, on some of these holes as she gets to the back 9.
As we get you back out to the 9th along that beautiful coastline, Tom.
What a view that is out across the water, I'm sure. You're enjoying it out there, Kate.
I sure am. This is a delightful course to walk, and this is a beautiful hole. A tricky, short little par 4. Played rather on the easy side the first day or two. But this hole location is right in the just about the very center of the green, right up on a little perch.
Let's go over to 18 quickly.
And you heard a little roar there while we were over at the 9th, and that was produced by Stacy Lewis's 3rd at the par 5 18th. And if you play the slopes and the undulations right here at Sebonack, you can take advantage.
That's a really good shot. I mean, she was in the bunker way behind. That's one of the toughest shots in golf.
Back to 9.
You for the par. You got to say that it stems from the tee shot, missing the fairway left in the fescue. Over to number 17.
This was earlier, Tom. Christy McPherson for birdie at the 17th.
Very quick down the slope.
Yes. So Christy with her 2nd birdie on this back 9, but she also has 6 bogeys and a double, so a mixed bag for McPherson today, and back over to 9.
So-Yeon Ryu for the bogey. And we have 2 players under par for the championship, just IK Kim and Inbee Park. Although Jodie Ewart-Shanoff has a chance to get under par, and it should be a birdie here.
Pretty impressed, Tom, with her general demeanor, despite the fact she made 4 bogeys in the first 5 holes. This for 2 birdies in a row.
So her parents ended average. There's her mother Zoe here this week, having a mother-daughter week at the US Women's Open. Over to number 10.
And this is a birdie attempt for Paula Creamer, the champion at Oakmont in 2010. Jane.
Just a 30-footer, a little right to left. Not that difficult a putt.
Paula had it into red figures earlier in her round, but double bogeyed the par 5/8. And we mentioned the breakthrough win at Oakmont, but since then, 66 events. Annika, no wins. 23 top 10s, but why hasn't Paula been able to break into the win column again?
Well, I think we can see it this week. She is not very happy with her putting. She's changing grip. It's regular. It's left-hand low. She really hasn't found the speed of the greens, and her technique is a little shaky at the moment.
Definitely going to bring it, right?
Yes, that lay will definitely bring it.
At the 9th hole, IK Kim with only her 3rd missed fairway. She didn't miss it by much here, Roger.
Well, it was fortunate there was a little French cut of rough, though, or it would have gone down into the bunker. This now from 112, ball well below her feet.
So she's missed 2 fairways today, 3 all week.
that slope.
A little left to the hole. And stay on top.
It's trying. Just going to stay there. It's going to be okay.
Well, ball below your feet, Annika, you have to make sure you maintain your balance. I always like to kind of focus my weight back on my heels just a little bit. Try to keep my lower body quiet and go ahead and swing my arms through. She did it very nicely.
She did, and the key here is also aim a little bit to the left because it's going to go to the right.
Now Inbee Park, Roger, looks like the ball is slightly below her feet as well.
It is just slightly, but it's on a downhill slope. She has 93 yards. I would think that it's going to come out low. It's a piercing trajectory. Oh, that is really nicely done. Landed it perfectly on top of that board.
So Inbee Park with a good chance for a birdie at the 9th. What a week so far. What a year so far for the world number 1. A 4-shot lead trying to make it 5. Back at the 68th United States Women's Open, Inbee Park with a 4-shot lead over IK Kim. Kim has a birdie chance coming up, so too does Inbee Park. Let's see if IK can make this one.
Get it. Oh.
To the 18th
This
green.
was just earlier at the par 5. Morgan Pressel finishing up and struggling down the stretch. But able to roll that in for up on around 74. And this was Stacy Lewis to finish off that beautiful shot you talked about, Annika.
Yes, that was a tough bunker shot.
This par 5, the tees have been moved up again today, and it is playing downwind, so certainly reachable into by a number of players in the field. So.
Stacy was right in it at the start, but too many high scores down the stretch. And it's not like she's been playing poorly to lose her #1 ranking. It's just how incredible that young lady, Inbee Park, has played to wrestle it away from her, Tom.
Yeah, she took over the top spot in the world the week after winning the Kraft of Biscay, which was actually a week off for the LPGA Tour, and she hasn't looked back since. Her 11th consecutive week at the top, and this for her first birdie of the day. Two drop shots and 1 birdie, and Inbee Park has a 5-shot lead.
Well, IK Kim and Inbee Park similar in age, 24 and 25 years old, and similar in major starts, but Inbee Park already with 3 wins, 2 in a row to start this year to go along with the 2008 U.S. Women's Open. And IK Kim has had her opportunities but has not been able to close the door. And Inbee Park trying to close the door on history today as we go back to IK Kim to keep it at 4 under and stay 5 back.
You see she just has her left wrist taped up there. That's an injury that she's been struggling with for over a year. And yesterday she said it was bothering her on the front 9. Hasn't been bothering her too much. She's second in the tournament, 4 under par for the week. Inbee Park will make the stroll up to the 10th tee, and we will go to number 12. And Jessica Korda, who hit the headlines yesterday after she fired her caddy midway through the round. She has her boyfriend on the bag, Johnny Del Prete. He's a very good player, plays a little bit on the Web.com tour and the Canadian tour.
It's gonna go. See those trees at the bottom? See the branches down there? Yeah. The 3, 4? Yeah.
She doesn't talk.
Yeah.
That little caddy change, Tom, created quite waves to this championship, especially when we consider what Inbee Park is doing here in Chase for History. Boy, the Korda caddy change got its fair share of headlines, didn't it?
Oh, it certainly did. All over the world. In fact, I believe it was front page news on a lot of news websites. I'm not sure Mr. Korda was too happy about that, but that's the way it goes when you make that kind of decision. Over to number 10.
And Jord Shadov is in a bit of trouble here, Kay.
She actually lucked out, though. Her ball is sitting relatively decently It could have been a real long fescue. Instead, it's on some sort of dried out primary rough. 149 to the front.
Up the hill.
It's going to come up way short this hole, Dan. If you miss the fairway, the cost of rough that the USGA calculates is more than one shot. So can't afford to miss the fairway at 10.
There's a beautiful approach view for Paula Creamer down the hill to the 11th green.
And such a daunting shot it is from 200 yards. 185 to the front with a hybrid.
Sit.
Hit the back of that little knob in the green and chase it forward.
Back over to the 10th for you here.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
7-iron. Has 152 total. I imagine she's probably trying to land this a little to the right of the flagstick. Wind mostly left to right and hurting a little.
Monica, this is one of those holes where you could really utilize the slope in the green to get the ball near the hole.
I think you have to. Hole location today is 12 on, so you got to be on the right side, and hopefully it feeds in.
It's a missed club. That was way short. Shot plays dramatically uphill and into the wind. Miscalculation there.
And Angela Stanford ready now at 11, Jane.
Yes, Dan 153 to the front, 168. Downhill with wind coming pretty much straight off the left, and this is headed towards the bunker.
Yep, tough hole. Stanford at +1 for the championship. Began the day at 1 under, so +2 on her round. Began the day with just 5 players under par for the championship. We've got 3 on the board right now, but everybody looking up at NB Park, looking for her 3rd major in a row. So here is NB Park off the tee at the par 4 10th, leader by 5.
Wide fairway that slopes from players right to left. Just want to avoid that bunker down the right side.
You do, but the best angle into this whole location is being on the right side. So, but having such a big lead, you're going to be smart.
That's exactly right.
Up ahead, we've got you here with her 3rd.
5 paces to the front, another 12 paces on. Has to deal with a little left to right movement.
So a chance to save her par 4 and back at 11. Creamer from the bunker, Jane.
Tough bunker shot, ball above her feet. Green sloping away. I just needed to carry it a little further and it would have been good. Decent shot from that lie.
Chance to stay at +1 and up to 12.
And Jessica Korda trying to make the birdie here. Gave her the read. 4th birdie of the day for Jessica Korda.
She said he was fumbling with a bit of the yardage yesterday, but you could probably understand that being thrown into the Women's Open. Well, congrats to 17-year-old Casey Cathray, as all 5 amateurs who made the cut finished up earlier today. She went 5 under through her first 8 holes. She shot 2 under 70 to claim low amateur honors. She's from the Bay Area. She also won the Cal Women's Amateur at the age of 13. And there's a look at the final leaderboard as she bests Lydia Ko, just 16 years old in her own right. Lydia Ko's already won a couple of ladies professional tournaments. So Casey Cathray at +9, the low amateur in the 68 U.S. Women's Open. And out to the 11th for Angela Stanford's 3rd shot from the bunker.
Not an easy one here. Deep bunker. Very well done.
Should stay at +1. And back over to the par 4 10th, and we were chat off for par. And that's going to be another bogey for her, her 5th bogey in the first 10 holes. Well, no American has ever completed what's been called the toughest obstacle course in the world yet. Who will be the first American Ninja Warrior, returning tomorrow at 8/7 Central here on NBC. And back over to you for par over at the 10th, Kay.
And this is a slightly downhill 7-footer. Not a whole lot of movement. Particularly when he hit it that firmly.
She stays at even. It's been a decent year for Son Yeon-yu, the champion for the Broadmoor in 2011, 5th ranked player in the world. And back over at 11, this is Creamer for par.
About 12 feet downhill, Dan. Working a little from right to left.
And you can see she's really not making anything today or really the whole week.
So Paula falls to +2 with her first bogey of the day. Again, the only other hole she's dropped shots on was the par 5/8, the hole she doubled.
You can see the frustration there. We've seen a lot of that this week as well. And hit the ball as well as she has to not make any putts. Tough to take.
All right. IK Kim missed another fairway, Roger, at the 10th.
Yeah, I got fortunate with this one. Pulled it left and it rattled around a little bit in the gallery and came to rest on the path that the players have been walking. Literally, if nobody had touched the ball, would have been out in the fescue, which anything can happen then. So a reasonable lie, a little grass behind the ball. 185 up the hill.
I'm just starting to wonder how much she's really pushing. I mean, I know she's probably thinking that Inbee is not going to make any mistake, and she's trying very hard, and it's she's now the one that's making the mistakes.
Yeah, so thinking that perhaps Annika pars aren't going to get it done here, right? Maybe at some point you got to go into that full chase mode.
Yeah, there's a fine balance of starting to push and still not be able to make par yourself.
Especially on a golf course this difficult, because when you do get out of position, it is hard to make pars, let alone birdies.
Good position there, though. What about the swing here?
Let's take a look at this. I love her position at the top, really coming down. She's steady with her lower legs. You can see that. She made good contact out of that grass, extending to the target. You know, she's not a tall person, so she really needs to try to stay as tall as she can. Look at that nice finish, ending up very straight on the left side.
Now the leader.
Envy's ball is coming to rest in the bottom of the little valley here, so really a very level lie. 158 left. One going left to right. Maybe a little bit of hurt in it as well. Oh, this is really a low trajectory bullet at the right side of the green.
Beautiful play. The way he utilized the slope to the right.
Inbee Park continuing to apply the pressure. And there is some pressure. Only 3 women have won 3 majors in a single season. Just another piece of history for Inbee to chase. Back out to the final group at the 10th, and IK Kim with Inbee Park set up for birdie. He's playing her 3rd shot here.
If the putter from off the green here, when it gets on the green, he'll be running away from her and wrecking pretty hard to her left. Boy, this has really got a lot of speed on it, I think. No, not as bad as I thought. Really very good. That slid up a lot in the middle of the putt where I didn't think it would.
It's a good chance for IK to save her par, remain at 4 under. And over at 17, this was just earlier, Lexi Thompson with her 2nd shot from the par 3. Working on a pretty good score here.
Good news is the shot back uphill, so you can afford to be aggressive with it, and she was.
Went on to make par there, and just +1 despite starting off the day with a double. Well, there's Inbee Park's father with the binoculars, and her mom right next to him on the left with the bonnet. Talked to Inbee Park last night. She said they were in town, and she also has some cousins that live in the New York City area, which are out here as well. And so there is a lot of support for Inbee out here. She's got, of course, her fiance and her swing instructor, who's been here all week long. So they all want to be a part of this historic occasion. If Inbee Park is able to indeed get it done, this for birdie would certainly be another big direction that way. Inbee Park is just still on that cruise control. Not much emotion shown here. Not too high, never too low, Annika.
No, it's impressive. I mean, she's staying so calm, and just her approach out there, that was a beautiful swing, and that's a tough green to hit, and solid, and ball in the middle. It's just perfect.
And she hadn't been doing too badly with this club either. Led the field through 3 rounds of all the putting stats, and continues to roll them in.
So for the par, still going to lose ground here to Inbee. Lead is up to 6, even despite that nice par save by IK Kim. So 8 holes left, 6-shot lead for Inbee Park.
Clear? Yeah.
And hopefully.
And back up to the last. Haeji Kang, just earlier, 22 years old, also from Seoul, South Korea. Got her 3rd Women's Open, just off the stick there. Having a pretty decent day. +5 began the day, +8 at the moment.
This one looks like it has a chance. Just catches the left side of the flagstick, just a touch more to the right. Easily could have gone down.
Well, tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern Time, the 100th Tour de France continues on NBC Sports Network with Stage 3. So they're just getting it going, and don't miss primetime coverage every night of the Tour de France at 8 Eastern Time on the NBC Sports Network. Inbee Park is having an incredible year. 5 wins already. The only other multiple winner on the LPGA Tour is Stacey Lewis with 2. So Inbee Park trying to make it 6 wins on the year. This would be 2 in a row, and this would be 3 straight majors. It's getting to be, she's getting to be one of those players, Annika, that we had to kind of make sure we had all the numbers right when you were playing. I mean, it's that kind of dominance that we're seeing. Now, is it going to last with the longevity that you had, or a Tiger Woods type, or a Lorena Ochoa type? Who knows? But it is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, she won the U.S. Open at the age of 19, and then had a few years where she really didn't do much, and now she's just surged on the scene incredibly fast, and it's very impressive what I see here.
I think it's going to last a while, Dan. I really do. In talking with her caddy the other day, he was telling us that after she won that Open back in 08, that she tried to make some changes, tried to lose some weight, tried to get in better shape, started working out, and it was a negative for her and her golf game. And he convinced her and her parents to tell Inbee to just be herself, and to play her game the way she knows how she can play it. And Annika, I would think there has to be something about that comfort level of you being your normal self that allows her to play well on a regular basis.
Absolutely. You got to be comfortable in your own skin, and you got to do it your way.
Yeah, Brad Beecher, her caddy, had that frank, candid talked to her about it last night. She said, yeah, he sat me down. We talked about that. Gary, she's not a gym rat. You know, in this day and age in the world of golf, you know, you see Tiger Woods doing what he does, which works great for him and some other players. But it does not work for Inbee Park. And so she got out of the gym. And I'm not saying she doesn't work out at all, but it's just not a real focal point of how she approaches the game.
He was also telling us she doesn't practice a lot, that she's more of a player, that she does best when she plays a number of events in a row and really doesn't spend a lot of time practicing.
Well, here's a player that practices. She likes to work out, and you know, I know she's struggling today, but she's a fighter, and I know she's going to try to the very end.
IK Kim, 6 back of Inbee Park. It seems like a formality, but you never know in USGA championships and titles of this magnitude. But loving what they see so far. They can't wait to celebrate for real. Mom says, go get him, Inbee. Back out at the 11th. This is IK Kim from 191.
Very difficult shot down the hill into the wind from the player's left. Easy to lose this ball to the right. That will come up short in a low area, about 4 or 5 feet below the level of the green. Annika very close to an old divot, it appeared.
He did. I think she was lucky. But
Now NB, Roger.
And 177 left to the hole for NB. Wind against from the left. Oh, that's a solid shot, but will it hold? That's a little unlucky there.
That went down in some deep rough. Back to 12.
So Yeon-Yu on the tee at the par 3.
This is such a beautiful par 3. I think the most demanding and challenging part of this is being confident with your club selection. Right now it feels like the wind has died down a little bit. She went after that one. Aggressive line. Too aggressive?
Hopefully will stay on the putting surface.
Everything in the back part of the green tips away from the hole.
Birdie chance coming up. Only 3 birdies here today at the 12th. They only had 3 birdies yesterday on this hole. Let's take a look at this one from the other angle. See how close it came to going in. Wasn't too far away. Now Jody Yu at Shadoff. There's Mike Davis from the USJ in the background, keeping a close eye on this group.
He and Tom O'Toole are walking with this group. This hole playing 20 yards less than it did yesterday. And as I said, the wind right now is laid down a bit. Jody going with 1 less club. This one drifting a bit to the right.
Hang on the putting green, so 2 birdie putts coming up at 12. Jody from the Yorkshire Dales in the north of England. And we'll go back 1 to number 11.
Roger had a chance to check out NB Park's lie.
Yeah, it's not the best of lies. Stopped just short of the tall fescue, but she's in an area where the grain of the grass is kind of coming against her, so that's a little problematic. Makes it a little tough to get it to the hole. IK will be first to play. And this is an awkward angle pitch up across, it's an elevated green from where her ball has come to rest across the edge of the bunker. That green does tilt toward her some, though, so that does help. But if you remember back at the 8th hole, a shot she misplayed from in front of the green about 50 yards. But this is a little more awkward than that was even.
you can see she's got to have a lofted club to get over the sprinklers.
Okay, pretty nicely done there.
Right, maybe IK Kim can pick up a shot on NB Park, who's coming off back-to-back birdies to get this lead up to 6.
Roger, this shot for NB, one of those you kind of hack and hope. You're really not sure how the ball's going to come out.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I say, the grain of the grass is against her, against the ball. So it's, you know, as a rule, you kind of get those a little high in the face, and they don't come off with the kind of momentum you would like them to. Easy to come up short, let's put it that way. Well, she made pretty good contact, and that's going to get on past. Whoa.
So NB will be away for her par. The head course superintendent here since the inception of this course has been Garrett Boddington. He was on board, in fact, when they were building this golf course. And the USGA commenting earlier this week before the championship began that agronomically this is the best looking course that they have ever seen. So congratulations to Garrett and his staff. And we also want to add our best to Garrett's father, who has been battling some health issues as of late. So get well soon, Don. And Garrett, congratulations for an outstanding job done here at Sebonack on this championship. Absolute perfect shape. Back out to the 11 NB Park. This for par. And Roger, she's been making just about everything.
Everything. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. This one uphill, and we'll move a little left to right.
One putts 26 of the 64 holes, 40% one putt. It's an amazing run with the blade.
That's interesting too, Roger. She really relies quite a bit on her caddy to help her with the read of the putts. He He seems to be in there, Brad, featured almost every time, no matter how short the putt.
Yeah, but he's not in charge of getting them online and having the right speed. And every putt she hits basically has the right speed, it seems. I mean, when she misses, she catches the edge or just goes over the edge on the high side. It's really been very impressive.
So another one made. So a beautiful save there for NB. Remains at 10 under. With the nice putt there. We talked about all the putts that she has been making. It started right from the get-go. This was just her second hole of the championship, a par putt there at 11. And she was off and running, one off the lead after her first round 67. Then in the second round, putting from off the green for birdie at the 6th.
This one some 30+ feet steeply up the hill. Pulls the flagstick and goes down.
And then Annika, another birdie at 13. Just a free-flowing stroke.
Beautiful tempo. And I think this week she figured out the speed of the greens.
Shot a 68 in that second round to build a 2-shot lead heading into the weekend. And then yesterday, after making 3 straight bogeys, this was one of the most impressive putts of the lot.
Well, this one was coming straight down the hill, and it was motoring. That ball would have gone 7 or 8 feet by. It finds the hole. In fact, she admitted then at the end of the round that one was a little lucky.
The 2 playing competitors were outside or inside of her on that. They did make 3 birdies at the 14th, and then she was also outside of both their playing competitors at 15 when she made birdie there. So 71 yesterday, the only round under par. And right now it's all adding up into a 6-shot lead. IK Kim makes her par as well at the 11th. So she is checking off the holes. Just 6 left. And up to 12.
This was a moment ago. So Yeon Yu for a birdie. Jodie Yu at Shadowf has already missed her birdie attempt. She would have had it if she'd hit it. We'll go up to number 18.
Lexi Thompson has this for birdie. Chance for an even par round.
Did she hit it?
+73 for Lexi. +5 for the championship, and back to the 12th.
Inbee Park on the tee. She said something after her round yesterday which caught my eye. Somebody asked her, do you like to be in front going into the final round? She said, yes, I like to be leading. It means you're playing better than everyone else. There's a little more pressure, but you should be able to handle it. What do you make of that, Annika?
I was going to say I agree with that. It means, like you said, you're playing well, and let the other people make the mistakes. Let them chase you.
She's pulled 9-iron here. Wind at a bit of a lull at the moment. Still moving left to right, but certainly not as hard as it was blowing just a few minutes ago.
Certainly eliminating going over the green with this club. At this point in the proceedings, that's about the only place you don't want to be is long. So good smart shot in front of the green.
Now IK Kim.
Not as long an iron player or strong an iron player as Inbee Park. Hits the ball kind of higher with a softer trajectory. Park hits lower shots with a little more boring trajectory. So I would look for more club here from IK.
It's interesting, though, that Inbee Park was hitting 9 with when Jodie Yu at Shadow was hitting at 8-iron, and she's a little longer of the two. The adrenaline must be pumping.
President of the USGA, Glenn Nagle, also watching down there. I'm sure enjoying the performance from both players.
The referee of the match, actually.
Ah,
This now is, oh yes, 7-iron now for IK. This moving just a little bit of the ball.
Okay.
So both players safely finding the green here at this very pretty par 3 12th hole. Inbee Park with a 6-shot lead. She's trying to win 3 major championships in a row. Incredible run. Inbee Park with this birdie putt at the 12th. Once again, caddy Brad Beecher just taking a quick look. Anything in this, Roger?
Yes, it will move to her right. The first part of the putt just slightly uphill, and then it goes over a little break in the green and starts to run away and to her right. But to be careful with the speed.
It has been quite a major run as Inbee Park looks for total career major number 4, because the first one came when she was just 19 years old in 2008 at Interlachen in Minnesota. 2 weeks shy of her 20th birthday, clutch par save there at the 9th, which led to a near flawless stretch of golf over the last 10 holes. Birdie putt there at the 13th, and then the tap in for birdie at the 18th for a final round 2 under 71 4-stroke victory over Helen Alfredsson. She was the only player in the last 9 groups to shoot an under par round that day. Again, just 19 years old, but did not win again until 4 years later. I'm talking with her last night. She said, I was just too young. I didn't really realize, first of all, what I had done. And then, as we talked about earlier, was just trying to please all sorts of different people into becoming the player that they thought she should be.
Okay, Kim with the birdie putt. 2 over par for the round. Okay, Kim started the day 4 shots back. She's now 6 behind Inbee Park. Now, pace of play month. If you're playing at your home club, they might want you to tap that one in, but Inbee is not going to dare stand. Well, IK is not going to dare stand on Inbee Park's line.
And again, this recapturing her game for Inbee Park, illustrated by the wins from 2007 to 2010, just that 2008 U.S. Women's Open, and then from 2011 to present, really turning it on since last year's LPGA Championship, where she finished in a tie for 9th. And so you go back to this date, in the last 27 tournaments, 7 wins, 3 of the majors, 6 seconds, and 19 top 10s. This is just one of the most dominant stretches of golf we have ever seen. And the fact that it is coming with its history on the line today, and the lead, what it is, it reminds you of what Tiger Woods has done, what Rory McIlroy has been able to do in a couple of majors. It is that kind of level of golf that just only comes so rarely. Here's Na Yeon Choi, the defending champion, in her 3rd shot. Difficult stance here at 18.
And this one very easy to hit heavy from this position.
Was last year at Black Wolf Run, where Se-Ri Pak was one of the first there to congratulate Na Yeon Choi, also from South Korea. And again, continuing a domination in the ladies majors. Koreans have won 4 of the last 5 major championships in women's golf. And we mentioned it yesterday, 9 straight majors no Americans have been able to win, so that's going to be pushed to 10. As the South Koreans have really taken a stranglehold on ladies golf. As we go over to the tee at 13, the par 5, 544 yards today.
Right to left, correct.
Tee pushed back. Yesterday the tees were moved up, and some of the players had an opportunity to try to reach this par 5 and 2, but Roger, I assume that will not be the case from these back tees.
I can't imagine so, and with the wind direction and velocity, I don't think there's enough push to help the ball, and no, I just don't think anybody's going to get here in 2. A solid tee shot right in the center of the fairway.
You know, so much is said about her putting and her driving, but you know, I like to point out that her mental state is very strong. Nothing seems to faze her.
Up ahead is Ewart Shadoff.
Her third shot, not particularly good with a short iron. It'll gather back toward the hole some. Got several ways to get the ball close there. 13 with an iron. Play left of the hole and long. And it will come back to the hole. So that not a particularly good shot. We saw that a couple of times yesterday from Jodi Ewart Shadoff, not taking advantage of her length. Just ordinary kind of short iron shots.
So back on the tee for IK Kim.
This looks like less than driver. So obviously just going to be a three-shot hole. Drive to the widest part of the fairway.
I think that's a smart play. You know, she's missed a few fairways. She's got to just gather herself, hit fairways, and really trying to get close on her third shot here and trying to make as much pressure as you can on NB, if possible.
Some performance. NB Park, a 6-shot lead over IK Kim, making it look like it is a walk in the park at beautiful Sabonek. Never know what you're going to see out here in the Hamptons. Back-to-back championships for Annika Sorenstam. Paula Kramer has broken through. Title number 3 finally.
She's got it. Oh, what a reaction from Inkster.
Christy Kerr has her major championship, the biggest one of all. And it was Na-Yeon Choi who felt that feeling last year at Black Wolf Run. This for par. So +3 round, 75 for Na-Yeon Choi. And earlier at 13, this was the third for Yu at even par.
She's got it up on the upper level of the fairway, so a clear view of the flagstick. Should be able to take advantage of it, and does.
Should be able to get back in red figures. 17.
This is Lindy Duncan playing just her second event as a professional. This for birdie. Former Duke Blue Devil. Oh, there you go. Now that gets her back to 6 over par. If she gets inside the top 10 of the tournament, she will be invited back for next year's championship. Over to 13.
And IK Kim going with the plan here. Layup.
And well struck. This going a little bit up the right side, but should be fine.
6 holes left. Try to figure out a way to.
It's a daunting task.
Cut into the lead.
Especially when the NB Park is playing so consistently.
Up ahead, Ewart Shadoff for par, okay?
You saw where her third shot ended up the back of the green. She left her birdie putt woefully short and to the right. Two-putt from there.
Still a very impressive performance for Ewart Shadoff. What a spread there. You've got 6 clear NB Park of IK Kim, and then the next best golfers are 10 shots behind.
Yep.
Just a layup as well will be fine.
Yep, no major mistakes, no multiple major mistakes is the game plan for NB Park throughout the stretch. Up ahead, birdie. So we've got another one to join Kim and Park under par.
Well, I had a chance to notice a little something here about NB Park's swing. And Annika, that is you on the right, NB on the left. And I want want you to watch as the club comes forward in the forward swing. Look how the head kind of rotates out and around very quickly. In fact, we had a chance to kind of stop it here at impact, and it is eerily similar. The eyes are out here, impact is back here. Annika, same with you. Eyes are out here, impact here. I have to ask you, is that something you consciously tried to do? And were you actually looking at the ball when you made contact with it?
To answer your second question, no, I never looked at the golf ball, and it was a move that I started as an amateur. I wanted to transfer the weight from my right side to the left side, and the best way to do that was to shift with the head, moving with the spine. So yeah, I see the similarities certainly in the follow-through.
Yeah, absolutely. Going through the ball, it certainly created a lot of very straight shots for you, and it seems to be doing the same for Inbee Park.
This is Kari Webb for a par at the 16th. One over for her round today. It's a good save. Kari, fancied by many at the beginning of the week. She won the ShopRite LPGA Classic in very difficult conditions a couple of weeks ago.
And at 18, this was Karini Shea just earlier with her third to the par 5 18. Tough day for Karine, +6.
Playing out of the left rough, actually not a bad position to play from with the hole cut so far on the right-hand side of the green. A good angle. And controls the distance very well.
Chance to pick up her lone birdie of the day at the last. And there's a look at that hole location at 13. And the final group. Roger.
IK Kim will be first, 124 yards to the hole. Hole cut on the right side of the green and protected in front by a false front. A pretty steep false front immediately short of the hole, and a bumper right, of course. So with the wind now feeling kind of against and from the right, only 124, but not quite as simple as it sounds, only being 124.
Well, here's a major reason why IK Kim is not making up any ground on Inbee Park today. We see just 5 of 12 greens in regulation.
If it changes,
this
I'll
final
call you
round.
Nice solid one. She's perfect.
It certainly doesn't help when you're missing fairways. The first 2 days, she only missed 1.
It doesn't.
She's right at the moment. I like it.
I don't think it's the right shot.
Okay.
When you're
My
playing
body,
better, it's just flawless. There must be some frustration that kind of begins to set in. You feel like no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be paying attention to your own game, Monica. I mean, you're trying to hit the shots the best you can, and obviously you know you're well behind, but you still can't be too worried about what Inbee Park is doing. I mean, the only person you can control is yourself.
That is true. But you can see in her body language, she's not looking as strong as she did yesterday. She kept fighting, and it's almost like she's understanding it's going to be hard to do.
Well, at some point you do resign yourself to the fact that maybe it isn't going to happen. That's for sure.
Let's reach one of those points. It was in the press center yesterday, and then if you read the press clippings, that the press is beginning to ask everybody else about Inbee. So it's kind of reached that point right now, at least at this championship, where it is all about her, and rightly so. Have you ever seen anybody putt better? Have you ever seen anybody strike it better? Got to get to that point in her
full carry,
stretch
top
here.
of the
We're trying
ridge,
to put
you're
it in
looking
perspective.
at 5 shy of the flag, mate. You're looking at 114 playing up 3. Wedge is easily going to carry that, mate. Just go slightly left of it, okay?
Her caddy, Brad, he's one of the top caddies out there, and I think he's really doing a good job keeping her calm, and he knows the undulations on the greens very well.
I think this is up. Well played.
Exactly what he said, just left of the hole. That's when your player can hit the shots that the caddy wants.
Well, pretty good day for some windsurfing out there on the Peconic Bay, just below Sabonek.
Great moments in golf on NBC.
Jenny!
You gotta be kidding me!
One of the greatest putts ever in an Open Championship. She can't even believe it.
And there it is.
You're watching Golf Channel on NBC.
Well, that incredible putt by Jenny Shasiraporn got her into a playoff with Sairi Pak back at Black Wolf Run in 1998. Took 20 holes to complete it, and that win was a landmark victory in as much as it inspired a generation of Korean golfers, including In-Bee Park, who was just about 10 years old when that happened. And that just opened the floodgates for these Koreans to come over here and make their way on the LPGA Tour here in the States for birdie at 13.
Just that miss.
It's almost uncanny. I mean, every putt she hits looks like it's going in the hole to me.
In-Bee was telling me last night, Roger, that she remembers Sairi Pak taking her shoes off and hitting that shot out of the hazard. Remember that was played, she said, thousands of times throughout her country, South Korea. That was the signature moment of it all. Now IK Kim for par. So the lead remains 6. 5 holes left as we go to 18. Karini Shea to see if she can pick up her lone birdie of the day.
Going left to right here. Have to keep the speed up though. A little bit back uphill. Good stroke.
By the way, the PGA Tour event has wrapped up. Bill Haas won the AT&T by 3 strokes over Roberto Castro, so he now has at least 1 victory for the 4th consecutive year. So congratulations to Bill Haas on the win.
This was just earlier at the 15th hole, 3rd shot for Aimee Azato. She's heading into the city tonight with her parents. They've never been to New York City. I love going into the city. They're going to spend a couple of days there. See if she can make the birdie. Not to be. I said, are you going to see some plays? She said, well, my parents don't speak English, so that's not necessarily at the top of the agenda. We might see a couple of musicals.
Imagine some shopping might be on the agenda there.
Absolutely.
Well, some of the world's best take on Castle Stewart in a good test of links golf. The Scottish Open, the Aberdeen Asset Management Scottish Open, July 11th through 14th on Golf Channel and NBC. Big weekend for golf for Golf Channel and NBC Sports, as we'll be at Omaha Country Club for the U.S. Senior Open as well. Out to the 14th. The par 4 today, 433 yards.
Shot is blind, and the players use that target bunker you can see in the middle of the fairway there to try to figure out where they're going to go. Easiest fairway on the entire golf course to hit so far this week. Over 92% of the drives. So
the real fun starts up ahead on the green.
Yes, it does.
But some umbrellas out, Roger, beginning to rain lightly.
Ever so lightly. I mean, you can almost count the drops, but our first few sprinkles.
Some 23 feet up from the tee to the fairway.
The whole location today is all the way in the back, 28 paces just to the right. It'd be nice if you could get on the left side and have a good angle in.
IK set up there a good distance behind the leader In-Bee Park. The lead is 6. Sohyun Yu 1 under at In-Bee Park, and one of the great displays we've seen, not just women's golf but sports. Some performance at Sebotic. The 68th U.S. Women's Open is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. and by Rolex, official timekeeper of the United States Women's Open Championship. 68th edition here at Sebonack, very first USGA championship ever held here. And at 14, we've got Yu for par to stay at 1 under.
Little move to her right. Never played far enough left.
So she falls back to even. Still in solo third, though. And over at 17 is Brittany Lang at +2.
Annika, this is a young lady that I thought would really have a good career on the LPGA Tour. When she finished second a few years back as an amateur in this championship, very athletic. But she just doesn't seem to quite put the scores together on a consistent basis.
You have to make the putts.
Yeah, well, that's it. Inbee Park showing us that, isn't she?
Good look at 14 and where the hole location is there. And with 5 holes left, let's take a look at how they have scored down the stretch, the final few groups. Pretty good run there by So-Yeon Yu, but look who's got the best. No surprise, Inbee Park.
5 yards in front of us.
There are 2 par 5s in this last stretch of holes. And IK Kim is away here at 14. Roger?
And has 204 left to the hole, uphill but downwind, maybe a little bit from the right as well. But the kind of shot, again, as we saw yesterday, I think he chased the ball up over that large ridge on the center and right side of the green to get it back there.
Now, there were 2 big storylines heading into today. We talked about Inbee Park. The other storyline, as you look at the fairway to green at some 23 foot, was IK Kim in the quest for the major and what happened last year at the Kraft, missing that 14-inch putt that would have given her her first major. So there was a lot of people out here who I saw sentimentally looking for IK Kim and rooting her on after what happened.
She's displaying a good long game. Maybe not so much today, but the first 2 days she was flawless from tee to
just gonna be
green.
the bottom
And,
slope.
you know, I think she has the game. It's just this particular week, her putting has certainly not helped her.
And here's what we're talking about, Annika. You talk about stinging moments that will just stay with you forever. That is all she needed.
I mean, we have seen this so many times, and it just seems to get worse every time. The putt gets shorter and shorter. It's, I mean, that's got to haunt you. I know she's working hard to forget about it. She works with Pia Nilsson, Vision 54, and just trying to make it a positive experience. It's hard to tell, but that's what you got to do.
So that left her in a playoff with So-Yeon Yu, and Kim lost after Yu's birdie on the first extra hole. So I guess until you finally get that first major, that's the first step, right, of putting that in your past officially.
This is going to get all the way through the green, and there's some pretty long rough just behind the 14th green, but still appeared to be a very well struck shot. Just catching the down slope and scooting through.
Up ahead to 15.
And Paula Creamer has this one for a par.
And Tom, she hit what looked like a pretty nice approach shot, landed flag high and skipped back into the bunker. And hit a little bunker shot to this point, so a little disappointing for Paula. I know she had designs on making a birdie on this hole. Just a slight left to righter here.
Played so well in this championship. Obviously one win since 2004. A worst finish time for 19th. It's been 3 years since Paula entered the winner's circle. And of course, it was the U.S. Women's Open. Up to 18.
Hall of Famer Kari Webb taking aim at this flag with her third. From a good angle, it appears.
Nice hole location. Players can use a slope to the right of the hole, but Annika, if they're just a little left, there's a ridge there. And
sorry?
The ball will work its way away from the hole, so you do have to hit a pretty precise shot.
You do, and it seems like she's got a short iron in her hand.
Nope.
7-time major champion, 39
90s are total
victories, which is 11th all time.
Right. Okay, just feel it, trust yourself.
And another one of those wins earlier this year.
Yeah, she played very well at the Kingsmill tournament. Really a course that sets up like a major championship, and I was looking at Kari as one of the favorites coming in this week.
Those 7 majors tied with Julie Inkster, who got a special exemption into this championship for the most among the active players. Webb was the first player to win 5 different majors, and at 26 became the youngest to complete the career Grand Slam. Now the major list is growing as we have the Evian later this year, which will be 5 majors in the year. So if Inbee Park wins today and then captures the Women's British Open, man, would the hype be big at the Evian for the first time it's considered a major. Wow, Webb came up short there. Miscue.
Loose shot there.
Over at 17, Brittany Lang for birdie.
Yeah, we talked about Brittany's long game. It's been this part of her game that's not really helped her through her career.
Back at 14, Inbee Park. Roger.
Well, the lie could have been worse. It's not its most dense right where her ball sits, but the grain of the grass is coming against her, so she's going to have to fly this ball further onto the green. And actually from here it's kind of uphill to the hole. Green slopes in from the right hand side, so she's pitching up against that, and that's what happens, comes up short. That was not the thickness of the rough in that particular case. It was just the direction the grass was growing.
Well, yesterday when Inbee Park needed to turn things around, did she ever in a big way? She got up on that top ledge here at 14. This is coming after 3 straight bogeys, and then this.
This putt, that slope about 3 feet in elevation change from where she is to where the hole was located, and that ball was motoring as it hit the hole.
And that gave her the reignition that she needed in that 3rd round yesterday, Annika. She was going the other way.
She was. Sometimes you just need a putt like that to turn it around. And you know, we looked at the shots that Inbee has missed. I mean, she's really missing them. Even though there are a few misses, they're in the right places. You know, she's not ending up in tough places where it's hard to make up and down. I mean, she's giving herself some good chances. She's very strategic.
Up to 16.
Jessica Korda for a par. Currently tied for 4th. One of those players battling to get into the Solheim Cup team, and there are plenty of points on the line here this week. Back to 14.
And IK Kim with a little adventure here, Raj.
Yeah, up over that steep ridge, and it'll swing some to her right at the start. When it gets on top, it should swing back to the left some.
All 3 players in the final group yesterday, including IK, birdied this hole.
Correctly, that location, well done.
Then back over to 18 for Christy Kerr's 3rd. +8, +6 for the day.
It has to be a disappointing week for Christy Kerr. We've mentioned that she's probably played this golf course more than any other player, and not able to take advantage of that local knowledge this week.
There's a good view of the undulations at 14, the big ridge that Roger was talking about, having IK Kim coming up over. Now a par attempt here for Inbee Park to remain at 10 under. Putting average #1.
And this one uphill from about 10 feet. Should move a little bit to her right. Not a lot, but a little bit.
It's a good looking putt.
When they miss, I'm shocked.
He still hit the hole every time.
That's right.
Every time.
So that's a bogey for Inbee. Just her 3rd of the day. 6 and 7 she bogeyed. Drops to 9 under. Still with a 5-shot lead. And that's if IK can get this little putt in to remain at 4 under.
Her last win came in 2010 at Lorraine Ochoa's tournament, and she was so generous. She donated the whole prize money to Lorena's foundation. Says a lot about her personality.
First came to the U.S. at the age of 16. IK Kim did, to attend a golf school in South Carolina. Moved to Maryland, then to Florida before eventually making San Diego her home.
Par 4 16th hole, and Paula Creamer with her second shot going back up the hill, 36 feet from pole position to the green, Jane.
And it is downwind is the good news, but 205 for Paula. All the way to this back right hole location, going with the hybrid.
Oh, please be good.
He likes the look of it. It's a good bounce.
It's a bit more distance, Jane. It's going to be okay. She's going to have a tricky putt coming up. We'll go up 117.
And Jessica Korda on the tee. And Gary, as we set out to our tower today, we saw Nellie, her younger sister, out striding with Jessica to watch her sister play. Nellie making the cut, youngest player in the field, and playing her morning round.
Plays 18 holes in the morning and then goes out to watch her sister in the afternoon. Not an easy walk around this golf course either. Up and down. And Monica, this is a player that I think has a lot of potential. Really a beautiful golf swing. Seems to create, you know, we've talked about a lot of speed, carries the ball, gets the ball up in the air.
Yeah, like she's very aggressive. She goes for the hole.
Well, she's 20 years old. Yeah, she'll learn.
I forgot that.
Yeah, she'll learn. I think once she kind of starts to understand that you don't have to play aggressively on every shot and don't have to hit every shot full out, we'll be seeing her name on a regular basis up there on top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, we will. She's already won a tournament, so she's still learning, and maybe she can figure this caddy situation out.
Well, apparently her boyfriend's not going to caddy for her anymore. She said he will be going back to his golf career, so we'll see what happens there.
Over to 15.
And the final pairing reach this 3-shot par 5. Inbee Park first to play.
And second to play, IK Kim has already driven the ball in the fairway.
The line is left of the bunker.
Wow. This one going down the left-hand side.
Is it going to stay on the fairway? Doesn't look like it. Just running up against the first cut. This was a layup hole, no way to reach the green. Go up to number 18.
And Christy Kerr with a chance to finish with a birdie. Kari Webb just missed her par putt.
That has really been the story of Christie's week. She has not putted the ball very well on greens that she feels like she knows very well.
Some of the members at Savonic awaiting the champion, and it looks like it's going to be Inbee Park. There you are, Annika, hoisting that trophy, 3 times a U.S. Women's Open champion. What is it like to win the greatest championship in the world?
There's nothing like it. I mean, it's a dream come true, and it's like I said, it's the biggest championship in women's golf. So
you won in 95 and 96. You probably didn't really know the full magnitude of it all as you continue to chase it for all these years, huh? Inbee Park at 15 now.
yeah, it gets tougher with age. You want it more.
Squibbed a little right, headed for the rough. And behind some trees.
That is not a good position there, Roger.
Kind of an awkward lie, it looked like on the second shot, Roger.
Yeah, by the collar, and it just kind of squibbed on her. I mean, you could tell it was the trajectory and the look of the shot was that it was affected by the lie.
Now IK Kim.
And this coming down the left side.
Come on. Look at. You might have just ran in the first cut.
Just managed to sneak away from that first cut. This was just earlier. So Yeon Yu for a birdie. We've only had 3 birdies at the 15th so far today. We'll make it 4. A long-range birdie from the 2011 US Women's Open champion. Birdie, bogey, birdie over the last 3 holes. And we've got 3 players under par and a big smile.
Well, let's take another look at this second shot that Inbee Park just hit. And Roger mentioned the ball was just up against the first cut of the rough. And watch how the grass gets in between the club head and the ball. Look how open the club face is. That grass forcing the face open. And as Roger said, the ball just kind of squirted off to the right. So sometimes just a little bit of grass could make a big difference.
17.
And this was just earlier. Aya Miyazato for birdie. Just one so far, coming at the 9th, +3 on the day, coming off her latest bogey at 16.
From the right, perfect speed.
So Miyazato to +4. And now Jessica Korda for her birdie.
So this one going a little bit more back uphill and moving to the right. Enough.
Well, we talked about it all week long. And it's going to be a special week in Pinehurst. Number 2 next summer. June 9th through the 22nd, both opens, the men's and women's back-to-back. For tickets, you can log on to usga.org, get yourself a championship series package, and settle in Sand Hills in North Carolina for both men's and women's.
I think it will, mate.
Out of the 15.
Just commit to it, mate.
Roger, what's this one looking like?
Well, tall fescue and a stymie behind
Take
the tree.
off,
There is a
straight out of
gap
that
between
cross.
2 trees immediately ahead of her that she'll try to pitch the ball out into the fairway to, but there's no attempt to get this on the green. It's just get the ball back out and play.
I think you're right, Roger. I mean, she's not in a position now that she needs to be aggressive. Just get it out there safely in the fairway and then hit the green and try to salvage par.
Or limit the damage to bogey, but you don't want to be making more than that. Okay.
Taking the medicine. Let's take another look at that one.
This is just one of those you have to hold on tight, swing hard, and try to keep the club going through the grass, although the grass is going to win when it's that long.
Now, I.K. Kim.
And 136 left to the hole. The hole cut all the way on the left-hand side of the green. Just 3 paces of green left of the hole. Deep bunker over there, and wind coming left to right. Pretty hard pin to go at. Pretty much have to hit it right of the hole, I think. Pretty much in the center of the green.
Yeah, especially from this angle, she's on the left-hand side, so she has to play a little bit more to the right. And there is a little ridge there on the right side, short. Maybe she can take that and it will funnel to the hole. But you certainly don't want to be long here.
Are you just looking at that tree right in the middle of that green?
It's left to right wind.
Yes.
Left to right lie.
Yep. Finishing line though.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, if she can somehow hit this close and make a birdie, and if NB Park doesn't get it up and down, all of a sudden, it's a 3-shot lead with 3 holes left to play. So could get a lot more interesting here with one real good shot, Roger.
A nice time to do it, but it'd be a brave shot to go with this flagstick. And this right of the hole.
Looks like she's lost her balance on several shorter shots today, Annika. That one, you can just tell her lower body motion was not good. She was kind of leaning around there. Almost like she's over swinging with the short irons. Take more clubs, swing smoother.
Just trying too hard.
Paula Creamer trying to save par at the 16th. That has been the club that has let her down somewhat over the last 3 years. She's really battled with the putter. Maybe if it starts working like that, we'll see a few more titles from Paula Creamer. Back at 15th, 4th shot for Inbee Park.
And this from 107. Solid strike on the right of the hole.
Exactly what she needed, Roger. Still a chance to save par. Got one to the 16th hole. So Yeon Yu with her second.
They moved the tees back, so this hole is really playing long today with the whole location all the way in the back. But they're trying to get the ball to roll up there. It's the only way to get it there because you don't want to be long on that hole either.
That shot seen today, Carlota Segundo knocked it to about a foot. A lot of players trundling up that hill and then ball trundling back down as So Yeon Yu did just there.
Well, we mentioned the difference. IK Kim struggling with some of her short iron shots. Inbee Park seems to be hitting some beautiful ones. watch the footwork here, Annika. Look at how solid her feet are, how quiet, what great balance. Club just swings through. Feet are not moving at all, and that's the way to get solid and consistent contact on those short shots.
That is the recipe for consistent short game, and you know, the shorter shot you have to be still with your lower body. She's just using the upper body to rotate, and that's why she has a distance control that she has.
Angela Stanford a moment ago on the tee at 17. That's 8 straight pars. A tie for 4th at +1.
She's looking at it like she's not too pleased, but wait a minute. It comes out of the dune, catches the slope.
I'm not sure she can see that.
No, I know she doesn't, but she should be hearing the reaction a little bit from the crowd.
Now live here with Creamer, Jane.
Well, it plays 171, but the number really is 163 to carry on that right side. Over the dune, wind coming just pretty much straight off the left. It's a good, solid-looking shot here.
We got a little knowledge from one of the co-designers, Tom Doak, this week. Actually, he called her and arranged for her to walk with her to the practice round. She said she was flattered to be able to play the course and get some knowledge from one of the designers himself, Doak. And back to 15.
Okay, Kim sizing up this birdie putt. Annika, you mentioned the donation that she made to Lorena Ochoa's foundation. And IK went back to Mexico in April the following year after she won the event and visited the school that Lorena has created and saw some of the funds that she had donated at work. And as a gift, Lorena presented IK with her very own Gibson guitar. And IK is a very keen guitar player herself, so it was a very interesting and enjoyable trip for IK Kim.
And on that note, Annika, we not only miss you in competition, we really miss Lorena Ochoa. Both of you guys deciding to step away from the game and spend time with your families, children.
Children.
Oh,
Well, I heard Lorena is expecting her second child, so we want to wish her the very best.
Absolutely. One of the classiest champions we've ever seen. One heck of a player.
And to put her donation in perspective, that was 20% of the money she earned that whole year. So that says a lot.
Go up to the 18th.
Brittany Lincecum has this for birdie.
We had a chance to talk to Brittany on the practice tee earlier today. She said these greens have befuddled her most of the week.
One more time.
Yeah.
Still a good day for Brittany. Back to 15.
B Park sizing up this par putt.
Well, about 15 feet. I don't see a lot of break in this. I think it will move a little to her left.
Yesterday she had a bit of a wobble. 11, 12 and 13 she dropped shots. Today bogeying 14 and 15. Annika, are you surprised that she went with the fairway metal on the second shot?
Well, it's always easy to have a comment afterwards, but yeah, I mean, she's in a position she doesn't have to be aggressive. Just lay it up there nicely, had a 8 or 9 iron into the hole, and
Four-shot lead, 3 holes to play. And up at the 16th hole, So Yeon Ryu trying to negotiate this putt. Kay?
And this is a very similar putt to what she had at 13, which is, or I'm sorry, 14, which is kind of a sister hole, and it's the same kind of hole location all the way back right. She has a steep slope to negotiate, then it flattens out.
Like this, you just want to focus more on the speed, and then
she did a much better job of that on because she blew it way past the 3 putt at 14.
17.
Angela Stanford for birdie.
This one much right down the hill. Shouldn't be a whole lot of break.
Shows she stays tied with Korda. Ewart shot off at the +1 position and back at the tee at 16.
Okay, Kim.
right. She's asking for it to sit. Wants it to stay short of that fairway bunker.
Oh, it will.
No problem, huh, Raj?
Nope.
Up to 18.
Little par attempt here for Brittany Lang to get in with an even round par. Score of 72. And to see her line. Got off to a shaky start, but handled it pretty well the rest of the way. Back to 16.
Inbee Park not going with driver here, Roger.
I like this play. Take that bunker out of play. She does have the length to reach it with driver. And she's spinning a hook up the left-hand side. Should kick right. That'll be fine.
So Inbee Park trying to make history in this beautiful part of the world. Long Island hosting its first U.S. Women's Open. Nice day to be out on the water. Nice day to be playing golf. For Inbee Park at least. 4-shot lead with 3 to play.
These rare moments in sports, the rare chances to make history. Today, Inbee Park has a chance to match the great Babe Zaharias and win 3 straight majors to start the year.
Having an opportunity to doing something like that in history, I think that is just a big honor. And if you're a golfer, everybody want to be in, position where I am right now.
Already 5 wins on the season, including the first 2 majors of the year. The splashdown at the Craft, and then the win at the LPGA Championship has put Inbee Park in position for not only her 2nd U.S. Women's Open trophy, but a chance to catch the Babe and then take aim at a Grand Slam at the Women's British Open. Her mom and dad have watched this race to history unfold at Savonic. And now with a 4-shot lead as she stands at the 16th fairway. In the fairway, which has been the theme for Inbee all week long. We'll get to her shot in just a moment, but first over to 17 for Paula Creamer and her birdie try. Gets it to +1 with her 3rd birdie of the day. One of only 2 players without a 3-putt for the week. She's got the putter going this week.
All that knowledge from Tom Doak paying off.
Heiji King, by the way, the only other player without a single 3-putt on these undulating greens.
And back at the 16th.
You're hitting an upslope.
It looks like IK will be first to play.
Just like that shape.
We think, but the players are kind of glancing over at the right time. They're not seeing each other, but they haven't determined who's going to go first. I believe it's Kim. We have her as being away and 200 yards left of the hole.
Runs right to left.
Just like the edge of the camera.
Perfect. Love it. Yep, you got it.
It's not just the distance that make this hole tough at the pin placement, and then you got the wind from right to left at the same time.
Now, if you play this ball into the center of the green, will it not move right toward that back right portion of the green?
It will, Roger. The difficulty has been getting it up over that last hump, that last rise, and back to that little shelf where the hole is cut. I've seen some shots move to the right, but it tends to catch that slope just short of the hole and kind of work its way back away from the hole location.
It'll be the only benefit of having a long club in. You're going to get the ball to release.
Solidly struck. Pretty good line here.
Release all the way. Tag is out.
Better shot to the same time.
We've seen a few balls on the back tier today. 6 birdies, so you can make birdie
I think
here.
it's fine, mate. I think that's going to come down a little bit softer. You know, just left edge of the TV tail, mate, and use the slope, all right? Take your time.
There you go. 4 bogeys today for Inbee Park. Good job, it's only a 4-round tournament. Just think more bogeys every day. So that's what you can do here. Second shot.
That's from 196, ball below her feet. Going to help her cut it a little bit. Which would be the ideal shot shape coming in here. Well, this hit pretty solid too.
Jump.
Just a soft top. I think that's going to turn out well. to 17.
Urchanov on the tee. Continuing to have an impressive week. Did begin the day at 3 under, so it's +5 on the day, but still is among the top 8 on the board.
She's got that to the right. Will it come out of the dune? Yes, it will. Players getting very fortunate.
We've seen a number of these
that's
last few minutes.
3 shots in just the last 5 or 10 minutes that turned out pretty well.
That for a birdie 2 for Jody Urchanov in her first U.S. Women's Open. It's NB Park trying to put away her second title here at Sebonack and match Babe Zaharias. 3 majors in a row is in the offing here on Long Island.
Back at the 16th hole, IK Kim 4 shots back, has this birdie chance.
Just don't see a lot in this May die left. Not too much, huh?
Just 1 birdie on the card today. Up to 18.
This is a bogey putt for Jessica Korda to end another U.S. Women's Open for her. 39 coming home, down to 73. +2 for the championship. Right now they're tied with Brittany Lang at that +2 number, who is in, and Urchanov, who is still working the course. It's back to 16.
See if NB Park can finish this one off in style. Back-to-back bogeys at 14 and 15, but this birdie chance at the 16th.
You know, back in this back right corner, I just don't see a whole lot of slope in the area of the hole. Again, may move a little bit, but certainly nothing grand.
She's so good with that club. You expect her to make everything. Disappointed when it doesn't go in. Safe par for NB Park. 2 holes to play. We'll go to 17.
And Tom, this was just earlier. Use par try. She stays at 1 under. Solo third for the 2011 champion. Even on the day. And now Urchanov for her birdie. Take it into that tie for 4th. Well, in a couple of weeks, we head to Omaha Country Club for the U.S. Senior Open Championship. Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Bernhard Langer, and our own Gary Koch will be on hand there for the festivities. And Gary, congratulations qualifying for the U.S. Senior Open. A 45-year span from the time you first qualified for a USGA event until this one. And what is it now? A total of 29 USGA events you're going to compete in?
This will be the 29th, Dan. Yeah, it's been a great run. I've had a wonderful association with the USGA for many years. That first one was back when I was 15 years old, qualifying for a USGA Junior Amateur. And now at the grand old age of 60, I've managed to do it again.
Well, get ready to take on those elevations. It's a great golf course. I think you're going to love it. And I think since you're in great shape, it's going to be to your advantage.
We'll see. I understand it's a Perry Maxwell design, and certainly have played some of his golf courses before, and like that strategy that he requires. Annika, good look at 17. Players can't see much.
Yes, it's almost like a dog leg. Playing 171 yards today. The whole location is 21 paces on, but it's, as you can see, tucked 6th on the right-hand side. So the wind is left to right. So I think a smart play would be a little bit more left of the flag
folks hold up,
and
please.
pull it up.
Thank you.
Well, if you're IK Kim, do you take more of a chance, though, at this point? 4 down with 2 to go.
And pretty much has second place locked up. She's got a 3-shot cushion over that. So that's if you're watching the scoreboard, Raj. Sometimes some of these players don't like to do that. Annika, were you a scoreboard watcher?
Oh yes, I love to watch scoreboard, and because that helped me knowing what I had to do. But it looks like she's got a long iron here. It's tough to go for the pin. She doesn't hit the ball very high, and we know it's going to shoot to the back. So a nice little fade would do it.
Well, this is going a little right in the hole. This is aggressive.
Well, it's going to be good. It'll catch that little slope and ease toward the hole. So well played shot.
Very well done. I really didn't see that. Good job, AK.
And there's Brad Beecher. We talked about, and she has talked about the importance of having him in the bag. He started with her in 2007, the year before she won the U.S. Women's Open, so he has seen the ebb and flow of her career. He was telling me the other day.
6 years. 6 we're going to take it like right edge of the town. 7 we just go straight up the middle. I'm upset straight up.
How her confidence level went to as low as it can go. In fact, Embiid told me last night she thought about quitting the game. It had gotten that bad. So here's a U.S. Women's Open champion in 08. A short time after that, thinking, you know what, I don't know if I want to get on the road. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not enjoying myself. And to get to this point is pretty remarkable stuff.
This is a 7-iron.
Come on, guys, no cameras, please.
It's not easy to stop at the very top, but her, backswing is so slow, and probably helped her.
She's got such a slow, deliberate backswing that I guess she can stop it on point.
I just thought it was easier to stop it when you're going back than when you're starting down. And I've seen Tiger Woods stop it about halfway down before. And that's a good smart shot by you. Just put the ball in the center of the green, take all the trouble out of play.
Another green hit, another step closer to 3 straight majors to start 2013. 68th U.S. Women's Open. Certainly looks like it belongs to Inbee Park. Two holes left for the final group. They're at 17. We go to 18 for Paula Creamer's 4th to the par 5.
This is awkward. Very steep slope here. She'll have to just get the ball on the green.
It's hard to adjust the distance when you have so much fence to work with, but look at that. That was well done.
Beautifully. Continues an excellent record of the Women's Open. Paula Creamer does. Back at 17, Inbee Park for birdie.
And the length you went uphill should move to her right some. And a tough putt to get the speed right. It comes over a ridge just before the hole.
When they miss, they don't miss by much. They've got great speed, decent line, and there just hasn't been too much stress on the greens at all for Inbee Park. Angela Stanford now for birdie at 18, playing with Creamer. Can she finally get one to go here after 9 straight pars? So her chase on this championship continues after coming so close back in 2003 when Hillary Lunke, one of the biggest Cinderella stories ever in this championship, Annika won there.
Hopefully she can start enjoying what she has done the last few months here. I mean, she has a nice cushion coming into 18, and that's the thing, when you play, you just live in the moment and you really don't think too much, and which is the key, but also you hope you can enjoy and smell the roses along the way.
I remember reading some of your quotes on being #1 and, continuing that. I don't want to, call it a grind, but at times, I mean, it's pretty all consuming, especially a player like you. As IK Kim comes up short, especially a player like you just put so much energy and time into it that it can kind of be the kind of approach in the sport that can kind of eat you up if you're not careful how you handle it. We've seen Yanni Singh not handle it. We've seen other players on the men's side not handle it particularly well.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if she goes on to win, which it looks like she will, I really hope that Inbee gets the recognition and the exposure. I mean, she really deserves it. This is history. I mean, I've been in this situation, and it's hard. And you know, I had a few more years behind my back and experience, and I was playing well, but I was not able to do it. And this is an incredible feat. I hope people understand that. I mean, she's making it look easy, but a lot of work behind it, and I mean, she is strong physically and mentally.
There have been a lot of South Koreans who've had success, but there's also been a lot of Koreans out here who have had fleeting success. In other words, the pressure from back home becomes immense, and that's exactly what happened to Inbee Park when she was 19 years old when she won that first Women's Open. But now, maturing and being able to handle it and handle this quest for history, she looks like she's figured it all out. Scoring average the last 3 years, that would certainly indicate figuring things out, gaining confidence. #1 ranking on the tour at 69.6.
That is really incredible to improve 2.5 strokes per round. I mean, that's very good.
And it's very hard.
Yeah, it's very hard to improve that much. Yes.
So 1 hole away. IK Kim with the honor at the par 5 18.
I think tonight's more right to left than yesterday.
Yes, yesterday was a lot more down. All right.
Dan, you talked about the pressure from parents and the lifestyle the Korean players have. It's very different than maybe what we see, you know, as Westerners. But one of the things that Inbee has, her parents, they do not travel with her. We mentioned that earlier. They've never really seen her win a major championship. So, you know, she's traveling with her fiance. She's very happy off the golf course, and she doesn't feel the pressure that some of these other Korean players feel week after week.
And her parents are successful in their own right back in Korea. They both have successful jobs and businesses that they're involved in. So it's not like Inbee is needing to make all this money to help support the entire family, which is sometimes the case.
She has other interests off the golf course. And again, in that happy kind of place, she plays piano. And I think even some of the other Korean players are envious of where she is in her life. Her fiance, who happens to be her golf instructor out here.
Right down the center. Beautiful.
That was a smart play with, you know, leaving the driver in the bag.
An absolute clinic by Inbee Park on the shores of the Great Peconic, on her way to her second U.S. Women's Open title and major championship #3 in a row. While we were away, third at the par 5 18th by Ewart Shadoff.
4 yards, should be just a nice comfortable sand wedge. Can you spin it? Yes, you can. Utilize the slope as well. I'm going to bet she makes that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Going to be a 10-pin birdie for her to finish at +1. And that's going to put her in a tie with Creamer, who just finished up. By the way, Paula Creamer with some strong U.S. Women's Opens. Only time in her career she's finished outside the top 25 was in her very first appearance in '03. So it's going to be her 5th top 10 in her last 6 appearances in this championship. So Paula playing well again.
IK Kim with a good record in this event as well. 3 times she's finished in the top 5. In fact, had a run of 3 consecutive years, 08, 09, and 10, where she was 3rd, and 4th.
A little Phil Mickelson-esque.
Oh.
Well, Roger, her second Inbee Park here at 18.
Yeah, 274 to the hole, but I can't believe this is an attempt to knock the ball on the green. I would be surprised if that would play up ahead. I don't think this is going to be an effort to get the ball down in front of the green.
No worries.
No worries, just a layup. Okay. I was far enough ahead, I couldn't tell if that white head was a fairway wood or a hybrid.
It was
obviously
a hybrid.
was a hybrid.
It was, Raj.
Well, Roger, you're earning your keep this week. Trying to read these greens and describe all these shots. Great job out there.
Thanks, pal.
And while she was hitting, this was you up ahead with her fourth.
Also from the right of the green, and this is the one that is so speedy. So two great shots, one by Creamer and one by Sungwoo Yu.
So Abiur Chad gets in there for birdie. Finishes at +1. Tied with Creamer and Stanford in fourth place.
And I believe that's her best finish ever on the LPGA Tour. I believe it was a tie for 7th that she had at the Craft. Was her best, tied her best finish, so she's making progress, heading in the right direction.
She was the first round leader there at the Craft. And IK Kim with second place locked up, unless something crazy happens here at the last.
Well, it has 267 to the hole. I just don't think there's enough wind. The wind's too much off the right. Yesterday we saw balls chase seemingly forever and got up onto this green, but I don't know if it's doable today.
Yeah, she's pulled an iron out right now.
Well,
Rod,
okay,
so,
then
yeah.
That makes sense. I just didn't see her really having a viable shot at knocking it on the green. And then why take the chance up here?
I'm sure when she looks back at this week, there are a few putts she wished she hit again.
Yeah, left side, but fine.
All right, so the layups at the par 5 for the final group. Just a matter of moments here before NB Park claims the title. NB Park will not be first to play her third shot, but sharing a nice moment there with her caddy Brad Beecher. They know the moment's imminent here, Annika, but I know you, as a professional, you want to try to stay away from getting ahead of yourself.
Yes, but you know, it's only a few more minutes, and she's in a good spot here on the 18th hole, and I hope she enjoys it. This is so special. That's one of the things that Amy Acott told me. Don't forget to smell the roses along the way.
Annika, if you had some words of advice for IK Kim, what would they be as far as, you know, getting close in these majors but not being able to quite get it done?
Well, she's only 25 years old, and she has a good major record. We mentioned earlier she's finished in the top 5 in all 4 majors. She has the game. She just has to be patient, and I think today she pushed it a little bit. Maybe she needed to, but it didn't work out today.
So that should be good to lock up second for IK Kim, who's at 4 under, and now NB Park's final full swing here. Walking up. How good must it feel if you're the parents of NB Park to be here and watch their daughter and all that she's been through, from those low moments in the game, not wondering if you're ever going to even come back to this game, but to come back to this height, to this level. Only 3 women have won 3 majors in a single season. Pat Bradley back in 1986, Mickey Wright in 1961. Babe Zaharias also a part of that list, won all 3 of the majors back in 1950. But the names that NB Park will join by what she has done on this day today and where she could take it at the Women's British Open, which, by the way, is at storied St. Andrews in August. I mean, the hype and the glare is only going to get brighter for NB Park. But based on what we've seen this week, I wouldn't bet against her.
No, I wouldn't bet against her. I mean, I know we have some time, and there's some other players that really, want to have a chance to win some majors this year. But this is impressive, and I still feel like she can still improve in some areas, and that's a scary thought.
Isn't that always the goal of a golfer? You're always trying to get better. You'll always try to assess any areas of your game that do need improvement. Continue to try to work on those. As long as she keeps putting the way she is, Annika, she's going to be very hard to beat.
Now IK Kim for an ending birdie here. And they have known each other for so long. We talked about how they played each other in the finals of the girls junior all those years ago. And they both watched Se-Ri Pak win that first U.S. Women's Open for South Korea. The first 52 editions of the Women's Open didn't have one South Korean winner. Se-Ri Pak was the very first in '98. And then Birdie Kim was the second in '05. And then after today, 5 of the last 6 winners will be from South Korea. In fact, the U.S. aside, South Korea has the most victories in this event.
And this is a nice courtesy of IK Kim to finish out and give Inbee Park the stage.
So another good week in the U.S. Women's Open for IK Kim. Maybe in any other week good enough to win her U.S. Women's Open title in her first major, but not this week when Inbee Park has done what she has done. And Inbee's mom overcome with emotion. And why wouldn't you be? You have a performance of this nature, you try to, put it in perspective. Here's another one for everybody to think about. She will be the first male or female at the Women's British Open to have a chance to win 4 straight professional majors. All of them haven't had that position to be in. You think of Ben Hogan back in 1953. He didn't play in the PGA because of a scheduling conflict. He was in Scotland to practice and qualify for the British. So how about that little piece of history? In the same season, we want to qualify that in the same season having a chance to win 4 straight professionals. Inbee Park has an historic 3 for 3 to start off 2013 with her second U.S. Women's Open title. And there's Madeline Choi, last year's champion, out there to congratulate her. And there's going to be an embrace with mom and dad, who have not had the opportunity to see a lot of wins in person by their 24-year-old daughter. Here's the champion from 2011. A tight-knit group. They're proud of what they've done. And they have played some incredible golf, the Koreans, in this U.S. Women's Open. Inbee Park is the champion for the second time. Glenn Nager, president of the USGA. Mom and dad, they want their time here. Much more to come here from Sabonis. And there's Mom waiting for her moment. Dreamlike week for Inbee Park. Historic occasion on Long Island. 3 for 3 in majors, 6 victories on the year, 2 straight wins. Final round 74. Good enough for a 4-shot win over IK Kim. She handled the pressure. Back with more from Sabonis, but first we send it to our update studios. What a week at Sabonik for Inbee Park. Came in with the pressure, handled it, took the lead after the second round, and never looked back. Some of her fellow Korean players, including a couple of U.S. Women's Open champions in their own right, congratulating her at the end, just like Sae-Ri Pak did with Na Yeon Choi and company last year at Black Wolf Run. Another U.S. Women's Open belongs to a golfer from Seoul, South Korea, and mom and dad who still live there, coming over and enjoying every minute of it. Sometimes, Annika and Gary, hard to put in perspective what a win like this means to ladies golf and the sport itself. Annika, I'll ask you your thoughts are from what you saw of Inbee Park in this race to history today.
Well, the story coming in was Inbee Park, and then the story leaving is Inbee Park. I mean, she has done something that, like we said, only Babe Saharis have done, and this is very impressive. I'm very proud of her, and hopefully she gets the recognition she deserves. I mean, this is she has showcased some amazing golf. I mean, this golf course was tough. Only 3 players were under par, and she was solid from tee to green, and if she did miss a shot, she made the putt. I mean, that's what it takes to win a U.S. Open.
Gary, we've seen a lot of awe-inspiring performances through the years, and ladies and men's golf, where do you rank this?
Well, right up there, Dan, to be perfectly honest with you. She made it look easy when you think about it. She really did, and a big part of that was the way she putted the ball, no question about it. There were a few rough moments, but you're going to have that through the course of 72 holes in a major championship. But every time it looked like, you know, the wheels might come off or there might be some serious problems, she would make a great putt, and that settled her right down. Just a pleasure to watch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Glenn Nager. I'm the president of the United States Golf Association. I hope you've enjoyed the experience and the excitement of the 68th U.S. Women's Open Championship. The USGA has promoted women's golf since 1895, starting with the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. Today, that legacy of support remains strong, with the USGA conducting 6 national championships exclusively for women each year, including this U.S. Women's Open Championship. This year, the U.S. Women's Open Championship attracted a record number of entries from America and from 44 countries around the globe. As a showcase for rigorously testing the skills of the finest players in the world, the U.S. Women's Open and Sabonik did not disappoint. Inbee Park's victory this week represents an important and an extraordinary accomplishment and a historic one. She richly deserves her place in history as America's not only its newest national champion, but she's now become the 2nd female player ever to win the first 3 majors in a season. She joins the great Babe Zaharias, who first accomplished this feat in 1950. Inbee, please join me. For your victory, I have 2 very distinguished awards to give to you. First is the Champions Medal. And second is the U.S. Women's Open Trophy, the time-honored emblem of America's national championship. Inbee, congratulations on your victory.
Inbee, if I could just have a word. You look so calm all day. Please tell me you weren't that calm with everything that was on the line.
Believe it or not, I was very calm out there. It was weird, and I didn't feel that much of a pressure when I was on the golf course. I was very nervous last night. I know, what I was playing for. I was just, very nervous yesterday, but on the golf course, and somehow I just felt very calm out there. And yeah, played very good today. Missed, a couple of, putts, but I think it was enough. I played very good. I mean, I think I'm just very honored to put my name to somebody like Babe Zaharias. I think it's such a big honor. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank all the people who came out here to watch, and the Sabina Golf Club and USGA for the great event. Thank you.
Well, NB, who are the people that have helped you the most to get to this point?
I don't think I can leave anybody out. I think everybody, from my parents to my fiance to my mentor coach, swing coach, all the families and friends, all the fans, LPGA, USGA, I mean, who can I leave out? I mean, everybody's been very helpful to me, and yeah, this is a very great moment. I don't know what I just did today. I mean, yeah, it did something very great, but I mean, it's scary to think what I'm capable of doing.
Do you dare to think about what you could do? The next major championship is at St. Andrews, and it could be the Grand Slam.
Yeah, I mean, don't tell me about it. It's just, yeah, you keep trying to put too much pressure on me. I'm just gonna, play my best. Yeah, just like I did this week. Yeah.
You seem to handle that pressure very well. Now, I do have to ask you about your father. He has never seen you win a major championship in person, but he's here this week. What does that mean to you?
I think it's always good to, share this kind of moment with my dad and my family. I think it just means the most to me. I mean, they are the people, they mean the most to me, and they're here with me in the great moment of history. Yeah, I'm just very glad that I can show them this kind of golf tournament and, this kind of moment to them. I'm sure, they're very proud of me.
Well, enjoy it this evening. You are the U.S. Women's Open champion. Well done, Inbee Park. Dan, let's head back up to you.
Thank you, Tom. And I know she doesn't want to think about it, but we in the media, it's our job to kind of push it to the next level. And we did mention it a little while ago. Inbee is going to have a chance to become the first male or female, first golfer to have 4 straight professional major titles in the same season. It's an amazing feat. We all know that Tiger did his Tiger Slam 4 straight back in 2000. And that site that Tom mentioned, St. Andrews, that was the second leg of that Tiger Slam for Tiger back in 2000. So that is some pretty heady stuff as we take a look at the highlights here and show you how Inbee Park got it done. And we take you back to the very first round. She started at the 10th hole. This was her second shot at the par 4.
Well, this was a sign of things to come. She utilizes the slope in the green to near perfection and makes a very easy birdie to get started.
And on the second hole, this was just a little harbinger of things to come. Par putt at 11, just her second hole of the day. Rolls that in, part of a first round 67. She was 1 off the lead. And then going into the second round, putting from just off the green for birdie at the 6th.
And this is something we saw all week. Long putts, good tempo, finding the hole.
And another example of Inbee Park on the greens, just off of it on the collar at 13.
And this is the exact opposite putt of the one she made there at 6. This one's straight downhill, very quick. And her speed is perfect there as well.
And the time of the championship where Inbee Park seized control, 2-shot lead heading into the weekend. And yesterday in round 3, this was the birdie putt at 14, which was unlikely, tracking and had some speed. Again, coming at a great time after 3 consecutive bogeys for Inbee, which got her back on track. And at the very next hole at 15.
This was when both her playing competitors were closer to the hole than she was. She would make the putt for birdie, and both her playing competitors would miss.
She had the only round under par yesterday, 1 under round of 71, had a 4-shot lead, and then coming into today, her second at the 9th.
Here she's got a short iron in. The pin is up on her ridge, and she judged that beautifully and has a short putt for birdie.
And again, that was the point of the championship where she was playing +2 golf. Made the birdie there, had another chance for birdie at the 10th. So again, she bounces back from some bogeys, gets it back to 10 under. Mom and Dad were there to watch that one. And then the third at 11.
A pretty good second shot that went through the green into a very awkward lie described by Roger Maltby as some very gnarly grass. Plays a pretty good shot to this point, but This is what we saw all week long, Annika. When she needed to make one to kind of keep the momentum going, she was able to do it.
So the par saver there at the difficult par 4, and then coming home at 18 with a championship right in her grasp, makes it official, and with a final round 74, 8 under, 4 clear of I.K. Kim. And so the hype has just begun. The Women's British Open ought to be pretty fun, huh, Annika?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ironic. It's going to be at in Scotland, kind of where the golf began at St. Andrews. I really look forward to seeing that. She has 4 weeks to relax, maybe practice a little bit, and maybe we'll sink in what she has done here this week.
Nope, she was able to handle all the pressure and keep that mind clear, unlike what it was earlier on in her career, Gary.
Well, I thought it was interesting. She said she's a little scared of what she may be capable of doing in the future, so it will be fun to watch.
All right, a chance for 4 straight majors in the same season. And don't forget, there's another major beyond that for the first time, the Evian, on the LPGA schedule as well. So there's the one last look at the leaderboard in Inbee Park, a winner by 4. Don't forget to join us in a couple of weeks for the U.S. Senior Open Championship in Omaha at Omaha Country Club. Our coverage begins there July 13th right here on NBC. And coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news tonight starting at 7, 6 Central. It's America's Got Talent, followed by Law and Order SVU. For our entire NBC Golf crew, Dan Hicks saying so long from Sabonic. Inbee Park has 3 majors in a row.